My take on Luke Skywalker is, and it's not profound, but essentially there are two versions of Luke Skywalker that existed in the Star Wars universe. And it is profound how different those two Luke Skywalkers are. We meet Luke Skywalker for the first time in the original series, right? He's young. He's motivated. He's also bored, right? He's just stuck on Tatooine. He wants to change the world. And all of a sudden, like, everything just opens up for him, and literally his dreams start coming true. And he didn't know his dream was to be a Jedi, but he knew his dream was to explore, right? To do something profound with his life, not just, be stuck on Tatooine. And then we see that story take place. And then all of a sudden we meet Luke Skywalker, and he's just completely freaking washed.
You're talking
right?
in episode 8.
Yeah, exactly. And the first terrible taste that got in my mouth was when Rey's handing Luke Skywalker his lightsaber, which is sacred, and he does the stupid thing and tosses it over his shoulder. And I was like, okay, like, this does not feel like Luke Skywalker. And for
the previous version of him, the last time you see Luke before that scene is literally him, like, in a sacred manner on a funeral pyre burning the owner of that lightsaber,
right?
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, and not only that, but what is it in Mandalorian? I get Boba Fett and Mandalorian mixed up in my brain.
Oh, where
like
he
shows up and just destroys all
full Jedi mode.
Yeah, and so, like, seeing that Luke Skywalker, and then seeing him compared to the modern day Luke Skywalker was incredibly infuriating. And legitimately, Jay, I was, like, mad at Mark Hamill, because I thought that Mark Hamill was like, just playing himself, essentially. Like, I thought that he was like, oh, I want to be funny, as if I just threw it over my shoulder, and it was casual. And, like, literally for months and months and months, I legitimately, like, was, like, struggling with Mark Hamill as, like, a character that had played Luke Skywalker, just because, like, Star Wars is so important to us, right? And then I saw a series of interviews with Mark Hamill, and I don't know if you've seen these or not, but Mark Hamill apparently was also very, very frustrated.
That's
with
what I was
going
to say, is how much do you think that was him? Do you think he was just frustrated because they killed him off? Or do you think he was frustrated? Or do you think, like, he didn't even like the entirety of the character?
So I think he didn't like the entirety of the character, and I think he thought that the script was completely wrong for what Luke Skywalker should have been. And then it kind of dawned on me. And Mark, if you ever want to come talk to us, I'll pay for your flight. I'll pay for your flight here and back home, and you can stay at my house. We've got a great
Southwest non-refundable.
Yeah. We'll let you have one extra bag, and I'll pay for it every single meal.
You can have an 805, and you can sleep in my guest bed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a nice guest bed. We just redid our house, and
it's a spring, but it's got a topper.
Yeah, and if you come during basketball season, we'll take you to a U of A basketball game. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious, Mark. If you hear this, come hang out with us. Because I want to hear your take is what that is. And
come defend yourself.
And not even defend. I just, like, I want to hear the take. And after seeing those interviews, I saw how frustrated he was with that writing, and it kind of dawned on me, there's a fair chance that Mark Hamill was looking at that script and thought to himself, this isn't even Luke Skywalker. So at that point, he probably didn't even play the part of Luke Skywalker. So when Rey hands him a lightsaber and he throws it over his shoulder, and he's like, oh, this is no big deal, then I kind of realized, I'm like, he literally was not playing Luke Skywalker at that point. And I guess that wasn't even written into the script. And that's what I had heard.
Oh, the lightsaber thing?
Yeah, I guess he just kind of, like, did that as a joke, and it stayed in. And
that could be a Rian Johnson thing, though, because, like, they probably did 40 takes of that scene. And then Rian's like, I like the lightsaber one.
I know. And everyone's like, oh, like, no, please don't do that. And he's like, no, I'm in control.
Dave
like, let's do
Filoni's
this.
In the background, like,
yeah. So not a profound take, but I would like to know more about Mark Hamill and his take on modern day Luke Skywalker, and how much he thinks that those two characters differ. And I think from the interviews that I've already seen is I think he would be frustrated still.
Well, the thing that's dumb about it is so the reason why he goes into exile is he has a Padawan who turns to the dark side.
Right.
And in the process kills some other Padawans. And what bothers me so much about
casual,
that,
he kills some students.
Okay, I'm being casual about it for a reason, though, because, like, this is the thing. Like, there is a repeating nature to the Force.
Yeah.
In Star Wars lore. the light side tends to be in general control, but there are these constant like waves of the dark side. Essentially, the balance between light and dark.
It's literally a true balance.
And you know what has happened a lot? Excuse me. What's happened a lot in just the lore of Star Wars is a Padawan turning to the dark side, and once he's done so, just killing lots and lots of Jedi and other innocent people. Whether it's like Revan is a hero of the Jedi, and at one point Revan was a Sith Lord who literally waged war against the Republic.
I know.
So what's so stupid about it is like and I get it. It's like, okay, so your best friend Han Solo, who you saved the galaxy with, his son was the victim of this particular tragedy. I'm not debating that it would be emotionally traumatizing, but like, first of all, as a Jedi, you're trained to distance yourself from those types of connections. And second of all, like, you're just not the first to do it. And that's why like and the one thing I'll say, because like I've always been higher on The Last Jedi than Luke. And I think if you actually skip through all of the stupid Canto Bight and pretty much everything involving the Code Breaker and Canto Bight, like a good clicker that you can just quickly skip through, it's actually a pretty solid movie. And the like what happens after Luke acts like a total wimp, okay? Yoda shows up and is like, dude, did you forget everything I taught you?
Right.
Pass on what you've learned, okay?
Right.
Like, yeah, there's going to be down times, like, but you've got a job to do, and you're literally the only person in the galaxy that can do this job. And you know who did look like Luke Skywalker? The dude who fought with Ben Kylo Ren on Crate at the end.
Yeah.
Like, he talked like Luke. He had that stoic. Because what I was going to say
that was a little bit better.
The original Luke is stoic. And then the Luke in The Last Jedi is loosey-goosey and mopey. And but he is stoic at the end. And so, again, I actually 100% agree with your take. But the point is what specifically bothers me about it is it's not believable. Like
it's not believable.
Luke Skywalker went through so much.
Right.
That it doesn't make any sense that he would crack under that type of hardship.
Yeah, and if you really think about what's at stake there, it's not just Luke Skywalker's not a Jedi anymore. It's there are no more Jedi.
Yeah.
Like it's not just Luke's done.
No, and the Empire's rising again.
Everybody's done, right? And it was just so unbelievable and just so ridiculous. And then if that was the only thing happening in those movies that I thought was just completely ridiculous, I would have been able to live with that. But there was just so much other crap. There was so much other crap in those movies that it was just like a cherry on top. And like, this isn't even Luke Skywalker. Like, this is one of your guys' most iconic characters, and you can't even get him right. Like it was just a slap to the face as a Star Wars fan.
Dude, I've tried the sequel trilogy so many times, and I've tried it in so many different frames of mind. Like I've tried it sober, I've tried it inebriated, I've tried it while I was angry, I've tried it while I was happy. There was a day like Carly went and did something, and I was like, okay, here we go.
Like I'm gonna like this movie. I'm gonna like
this. And like I literally turned it off 30 minutes into because I tried to go into it optimistic. I'm like, okay, what if I just focus on it? Like it is the cons so far outweigh the pros that it literally is unassailably a horrible rendition of Star Wars.
It is. And what's so frustrating too is for the most part, Disney's done a kick-ass job on everything else.
Yeah, so much other stuff.
Yeah, like incredible stuff. Solo was incredible. All like Boba Fett, Mandalorian, all incredible. You know,
Rebels, Rogue One.
Yeah, just all of it's been incredible.
Andor's been great.
Yeah, it's just like it's
Obi-Wan was great.
And again, they handed the reins to someone who didn't know what was going on. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have to say.
All right, guys, that is all we have for today. We'll be back next week to go over the second of the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy.
Yeah.
And then we plan on, we got some time to kill before some more Star Wars content comes out. I did see there was a new, I sent it to you, but they're doing like a gameplay release on the new Jedi Survivor. I sent this to you on Instagram.
Oh, I didn't look at it yet.
Yeah, the new Jedi Survivor, which is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order's coming out.
Oh, right.
Next year is going to be jam-packed, like from start to finish, but we got some months to kill here. So we're going to be doing a lot of books, a lot of Thrawn, a lot of that new High Republic book that I think is either already out or is coming out soon. We're going to do some like kind of larger topics, kind of like that Luke Skywalker thing. We're going to do a lot of different things to just kind of mix things up in the meantime. Our goal is to keep things steady at least once a week. And then obviously if things get busier, we'll get busier.
Yeah. And give us some takes. Throw out some comments as far as things that you'd like us to break down if you want us to talk about anything. I think it would be fun to do like top favorite Star Wars characters,
Sith Lords, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Alrighty, we're headed over to Luke's house where our wives are waiting. I'm going to see his house for the first time since he remodeled it. So I'm very, very excited. All right, guys, as always, we appreciate your support and we will see you later.
Thanks a lot.